welcome back to the Phi Cave Arcade. And I've been really busy lately. Didn't have an opportunity to do the end of 2021 kind of man cave walkthrough. So instead, I'm going to do a beginning of 22 video and kind of concentrate on new stuff and what I'm most proud of, or what I like the most of my collection. And first, I'll go ahead and hit off the art. I'll do some of my comic book statues, then onto some of my UFC and boxing memorabilia, and then lastly go over items in my arcade, and then follow that with plans for the future. So let's get this started. Fortunately, right now the cave is really a mess. I'm going to redo this module case setup and set it up to where it doesn't block any of my stuff on the wall. But for now, this is a piece by Richard T. Sloan, Hatton versus Pacquiao. It's one of the most memorable moments I ever seen live, where he flattened Hatton in a spectacular way. I think this was only limited to maybe 76 or something. It's a real low edition, fine art print, giclée process. Very happy to have that part of the collection. Moving on, this is another piece by Richard T. Sloan, fine art print with a giclée process. It's been autographed by both Anderson Silva and Vitor Belfort, signed by Richard T. Sloan, number 32 of 126. And as soon as I saw this bad boy, I knew I had to get it. I think it's nicely framed, and it's still, I still love seeing this every time I'm in here. So a very good addition to the cave. My second favorite art piece in this room is this Boom Boom Mancini painting. It is also a giclée on canvas instead of on paper. But the cool thing is this is super limited. It's by Stephen Holland. This is number 2 out of 20, and it's also signed by Ray Boom Boom Mancini. And Steve Holland says, I only paint tough guys, and Boom Boom is definitely looking tough in this painting. Last but not least in the collection is this Richard T. Sloan Cotto versus Margarito piece. It is the artist proof 1 out of 5. It came out in 2008, and I remember for roughly 8 years I looked for one of these. I think they only made 5 artist proof and 12 or 20 of the regular edition. So for years I couldn't find it, and then one day it appeared on eBay, and it was a very long negotiation to get this at the price I wanted. And I finally broke him. I got it for, I won't say the price because you never know who watches this, but I just remember being a very long negotiation and being scared that I would not get it, because chances are I would never see another one in my lifetime. And since I bought this, I haven't seen this one of these available online. So very fortunate to have it. Moving on to comic book statues. This is my 1/6 XM Studios Rebirth line collection. Unfortunately, I'm going to be tearing down my shelf, and I don't know what to do with all the stuff I have, let alone these statues. So I'm going to start selling them and getting rid of them. That way I could tear down all this shelving, put all this other stuff in the module case. I also have another big one coming, and tear down the shelving and put the pinball machines. I want to buy at least another 3. So unfortunately the shelving has to go for me to make it to where I have plenty of room, and the room still is set up well. But this is the first really big statue. I absolutely love this one. I don't know if I'll be able to sell this one, but this is X23. This is the regular edition, but I do have the exclusive portrait. Over here we got XM Studios Scarlet Witch. I think they only made about 349 of these. So this one's pretty rare. It's pretty big. It is pretty dynamic, and there's lots of detail, and having that Ultron that's torn apart is pretty cool too. Moving on, we have a Wonder Woman bust, Sideshow Studios. I think they made 500 of these. It was pretty cheap. I would be sad to see that one go. And here is the first overall statue that I bought. This is by Iron Studios. Thanos. It's not really a limited edition or anything. It's not numbered, so there's a lot out there. Moving on, I'm gonna go ahead and go over some of my UFC and boxing memorabilia. And the two like really biggest pieces, or the pieces I think is really cool, are the Fight You shorts collection that I have. I only have 2 pairs, but one of the things that I try to do, or I'm gonna try to do, is just collect stuff worn by former champions. So both Andre Arlovski and Jessica Andrade are former champions. So it's cool to have their shorts. I also have a lot of their souvenir tickets that were given to those who went to the fights, and also have casino chips from the casinos who hosted those events. I have plenty of MMA bobbleheads, but I've kind of felt that their product was a little expensive, and then they come out and say we're only going to have 100 of these signed, and you go back to their website and see somehow miraculously 5 years later they got some more available that's autographed. So it's kind of sus. I just kind of moved on from them. I wish that I could just sell them and get at least 50% of my money back, but there's not really a strong secondary market for them. So I'm just gonna hold on to them for now. Hopefully they go up in value and I could just move them. One of the things I have is the wall gloves, and again, one of the things I'm trying to do is just have a collection of gloves that are signed by former UFC champions. And we got Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Cain Velasquez, Mark Coleman, Anthony Pettis, Rich Franklin, Randy Couture, Benson Henderson, Matt Hughes, Dominic Cruz, Rafael Dos Anjos. The only one that isn't signed by a former champion is Cowboy Cerrone, but hey, that's Cowboy Cerrone. Let's give him a pass. And the newest glove I got is from Thug Rose, Namajunas. So yeah, I'm looking to add some more. We added Thug Rose and Joanna to the collection this year, so that's a positive. That's getting going bigger. I should be adding Rampage Jackson and Sugar Rashawn pretty soon. So one of the things that make this room stand out, I believe, is the collection of UFC signed by card posters. Right now I have 6 displayed. I have 7 in total. Right here is from UFC 160. It's signed by Cain Velasquez, Junior Zagano, Max Holloway, and I think Khabib signed this one as well. So that's a pretty cool one to have. Over here we have UFC 173, where Dillashaw had that crazy upset. We have some legends here. Daniel Cormier, Dan Henderson, and Robbie Lawler that have signed it. I'm pretty sure there's some other big names on there too, if I take a real good look at it. Sadly, we have a UFC 220 poster signed by Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou, as well as Cormier. I don't know who else has signed it. I haven't really. I think there's one more pretty big person who signed it. But again, it's blocked. It's blocked by this big Maji case. I plan to have it go 2 cases high and 4 wide, but I'm just waiting for one more long one to come in, and hoping it comes in within 6 months, and then that way you kind of get free views of everything on my wall. This poster is UFC on Fox. This is my first live event, Benson Henderson versus Gilbert Melendez. This is also the UFC debut of Daniel Cormier. You had Dillashaw who fought on this card. Who else? Jesus. Dillashaw. I think. Oh Jesus, I forget, man. My memory's bad. I'm really tired. But moving on. Also, here's my Junior Dos Santos Velasquez 2 poster. I was a big Velasquez fan. He's from Salinas. I'm from Salinas. So definitely was one of those guys I definitely could connect to. Overall, I really don't have a real strong boxing collection, but this is probably one of my nicer pieces. This is a Cotto versus Gomez official program signed by Cotto, Gomez, Kermit Citron, and Antonio Margarito. And you know, I got this from a guy who was kind of on the boxing scene on the East Coast, and I got it like for $100, man. And you know, it's not certified or anything, but if you look at the signatures, it's pretty obvious that Cotto signed it. And you know, speaking of that, you look at that signature, and you look at this signature. I got this from Miguel Cotto himself. He used to have his own website and sell memorabilia, like signed gloves and photos from his website. And I got that very early on in his career. And you can see the autograph lines up. But here's a little bit of more UFC and boxing cards. Like I said, it's kind of a bit of a mess, but it's going to be sorted out pretty soon. One of the things that I really like that I added this year is my pub table, my UFC chairs. I think it goes very well. And hey, here's another UFC SB that I forgot to talk about. This is my first big Vegas event, UFC wise, and one of the best rivalries in probably the last 10 years. So one of the cool stories I have is that we actually got a chance to meet John Jones, my son, and it was the middle of his weight cut. He was going down to the event center to weigh in to check his weight. And you know, you see John Jones, you're like, man, I told my son, like, ask him if he could get a photo. And as much shit as John Jones gets, he was so nice to my son. He was extremely nice, and the coaches were nice. So it's sad that, you know, he has so many problems and issues, but he was extremely nice to my son. I always will be thankful for that. Last but not least, we're looking at the little machines I have that get to give the nickname Fight Cave Arcade to this room. And here I have a Tempest Arcade 1-Up. It's not working. I am going to sell it and let somebody mod it. I really don't have time. And really, there's not, I don't know what I really would do with it anyways. With, you know, with it being 3/4 scale, I'm kind of like past that phase. So I'm gonna get rid of this, sell it, put it on Craigslist, and see what I get for it. Over here, it's my boys. It's Avengers Infinity Quest Pro. Here's Jurassic Park Premium, Stern Pinball machines. These are all decked out with the accessories. We got the toppers, we got the plungers, we got shaker motors inside. We have the art blades, and we have the side armor. So love these machines. These are dollar for dollar, a good return on investment, not only in regards to having fun, and when people come over my house, they're having fun and kind of having their mind blown a bit, but also I know that as of today, if I sell these, I probably wouldn't cost me nothing. Basically, I pay these games for a year, and I would probably get dollar for dollar what I paid for it. So pretty awesome value if you ask me. Over here is my newest edition, Godzilla Pro Stern Pinball, and they haven't really released any official accessories. I really don't go outside of Stern to add stuff, so there's no art blades, no plungers, no side armor yet. I did add this lockdown bar magnet, but But yeah, we'll see. Best game in my collection, one of the funnest games I've played. And this game is magic. So if you haven't got the chance to play it, take your ass down somewhere that has it. And people come here, and as great as Jurassic Park is and Avengers is, this is the game people play. It's easier than some of those other games, and it's just fun. It's fun. You know, Jurassic Park and Avengers, they'll kick your ass, man. At least Godzilla, you can last a little bit longer. And over here is my Super Pac-Man arcade went up. I see me getting rid of this one as well, and just using this space for pinball. I might bring another arcade cabinet, but I want it to be full size. I want it to be a multicade and commercial quality. One of the kind of small changes that really made a big difference was changing out these ceiling fans. These gave the room an additional 9 inches of clearance, meaning now if I need to work on my pinball machines or move them around, I don't have to worry about taking down the heads. They also give you better sight lines. So before, you would have my paintings and posters and whatnot obstructed with the light. I forget what you call it. The light that porcelain or glass that hangs down would be blocking parts of the picture. And now you can kind of see everything, just like over here. Before you walk in the room, boom, and that light fixture would be in your sight line. You wouldn't be able to see what you see right there. You would only see the bottom of those 2 big statues. So this is a small little thing that made a huge difference. Little by little, I'm gonna start kind of updating this room a little bit. I want to change out that door. It's kind of old, but I've kind of talked to some people, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. Got to rip it out, and that's going to involve paint matching and all that. But another thing I'm going to do in this room is I'm going to cut this brick about right here. I'm going to cut it, remove this, and then that way I could put three pinball machines across here, and then over here, maybe in 2 years, rip out the shelving and put 3 pinball machines across here. And I think I will be happy with 6 full-size pinball machines. And I came so close to buying Golden Tee. I was gonna buy one of those newer Golden Tee at-home editions. They're about 4 Gs. Very close to pulling that trigger. I didn't quite pull it because I put my deposit on my next pinball machine. But I was really thinking of just moving these tables and chairs over here in this corner and setting up the Golden Tee right here. And you could just, you know, if you're watching a fight or something, you can watch the fight or whatever. But if you want to play Golden Tee, you can play Golden Tee on the TV. So that's it, man. Thank you guys for watching. You guys got any tips on how I could display things better, or any kind of new memorabilia out there, don't be afraid to tell me or let me know. I appreciate you guys, and hoping all is well. Happy collecting, happy gaming.